Hello, this is Tony Teegarden with TonyTeegarden.com, and I am here with my amazing friend, talented, creative, and very energetic friend, Farnoosh Brock of Prolific Living. She's the founder of Prolific Living. She's a speaker. She is an online marketing and entrepreneur, and now I get to add author to that long list of accolades. So welcome to the interview, Farnoosh, my friend. How are you?
Hey, Tony, my friend. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. It's lovely to speak to you today.
Absolutely. And, you know, I just really have to say, it's been a while we've known each other now. It's probably been going on, what, at least 3 years-ish?
At least 2 years,
like
yeah.
And I just have to really acknowledge you, just the growth and the persistence and just the all-out effort that I see you putting into your business and have over the last couple of years. It's just awe-inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm learning from you and following your lead and loving every minute.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you. Well, listen, we're here to talk about something very exciting. You're now a brand new published author. And I put the stress on energetic friend of mine because you have this amazing amount of energy. And we both know that it comes from lifestyle. Yeah. And it comes from your diet. And for lack of a better term, it's a diet, it's your lifestyle. And so we actually now get to present. I get to get my Vanna White pose on right now.
Let me go get my camera.
Right, exactly. So we get to share with you now, you are published author of The Healthy Juicer's Bible. Yeah. And this is Lose Weight, Detoxify, Fight Disease, and Live a Long Life with Farnoosh Brock. It seriously is absolutely just amazing. I mean, just from the outline, from the content you cover, I swear, if there's anybody who's ever just getting started, doesn't know anything about juicing, I mean, I'm a pretty adept juicer. You and I both know this. We've talked about it.
Yes, you are.
But I still walked away from this like learning a lot of stuff.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, I wanted to write more than a recipe book because, you know, my mission is to get people to juice. Yes. And so I'm so glad you liked the book. We had wonderful publishers. I'm very lucky. Yeah. They did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm going to put a link underneath this interview because we're going to talk about some of the business side of that and some of the marketing side of it in another video. So, but I'm super excited about this book. And again, just so very clean. Tell me, what was the inspiration, you know, just for someone who's new to juicing or maybe looking at juicing, what's your backstory? What got you aligned with this lifestyle and eventually inevitably led to this book?
Right. So I started juicing about 5.5 years ago, Tony, completely by accident, but I was looking for something that would help me shed some stubborn weight that I had. And that's all I thought I needed. But I was in a very unhappy place in my life, very unhappy with my work. I was flying coast to coast a few times a month. It was really, really a tough time and just a lot of stuff going on with my personal relationships. So I started juicing. And the first thing that I noticed was the stubborn weight that I couldn't get rid of started to melt away. And it was 15 pounds, but for me, it was a lot because I'm relatively small. But on top of that, other things, you know, I was having more energy, like you said, which is no kidding. It's amazing. And I was losing this craving for junk food, for bad foods, some of the bad habits I had picked up from stressful traveling. And then I started to feel happier and more focused. And it started to lead to so many other personal developments, including starting my own business, my own blog at the time. So it was just like peeling layer upon layer of benefits from just the miracle of juicing consistently. So
perfect. And so, you know, when we get into this juicing lifestyle, I want you to help someone who's watching this, and again, maybe is looking at getting into juicing or is maybe just getting into it. What's a common myth? What's one of the biggest myths that you've heard? And I'll share one of mine that I hear of someone that looks at juicing and goes, okay, that looks really cool and it looks like it's fun, but you know, what might be, you know where I'm going with this.
So many things. It's almost like brand new. It's the same thing that you're familiar with, fruits and vegetables, but it's also new because they're in a completely different form. So one of the myths that I'm going to cover is that juicing is not the same as blending. Okay. So even if you have a power machine like a Vitamix, and I love my Vitamix, you are still not juicing if you're not extracting the fiber from the fruits and vegetables and drinking the juice. And there's nothing wrong with the fiber, but if you're going to be juicing and detoxing and cleansing your body, then you need the juice. You need a machine that extracts the fiber. So that's the common misconception that people think juicing and blending is the same. The other one is that it takes forever, and it doesn't. You know, and my question for people is, do you think you might be wasting 10 or 15 minutes of your day doing something that you don't want? Do you think that's possible?
Possibly.
And if you just look at your day, I mean, once you start to do this, it's an investment in your health today and long term. So it doesn't take that long. I help you develop systems and tools and routines and make it so efficient, and it's just going to become a part of what you do on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I know, you know, again, you said it perfectly. I wrote a report probably going on maybe 2 years ago or something. It was from a very famous blog post that I did. It was called How to Change the Quality of Your Life in 15 Minutes. And at the time, I was like, you know, again, I incorporated juicing, and I can tell you how, you know, how much of a nerve we touch in this. Because I had people saying, hey, listen, if you're ever going to write anything about juicing, because I talked about literally juicing for me in the mornings, 15 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
From fixing it, juicing it, cleaning the thing, and drinking it down, it's like 15 minutes. I'm good to go.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You know, we don't question showering, you know, which we know is important. So why should we question this?
Exactly.
What has been for you, what has been one of the biggest benefits of juicing, do you think? If you had to, I know this is a really tough question, but I want someone watching this to walk away with, you know, what's the one thing that, you know, that you've walked away with from juicing?
Yeah. So it makes me feel so happy, so great. You know, I feel like I'm in balance and in harmony with my body. But the one thing that I do is that I use juicing as a return. So life happens, you know, you travel, you have family, you have stressful times, you don't get to take care of yourself as well as you want every single day. But juicing is like my return. It's like this magnet that pulls me back into harmony. Like when I come back from traveling, that's the first thing I do. I start juicing, and suddenly every ailment, every pain, every imbalance in my body starts to go away. So it's this power medicine. So it's just like this, my top secret to health. And I use it, you know, I use it every day. But if I'm not near my juicer because I travel, I have a very busy life, that's something that I use to return to. And people have different things for that. But juicing seems to be the answer for me for that. And it just makes me happy that I take such good care of my body. You know, you don't get all the nutrients that you need in your diet the way that you do with a glass of green juice. So many benefits. So that's the top one I can think of.
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest benefits that I found when I first started juicing was that my digestive system wasn't working nearly as hard to process, you know, the processed foods and the things that we don't even think about. And a good friend of mine, because, you know, I work with a couple folks that are in the juicing niche, you know, so to speak. But one friend of mine absolutely got really on top of me about not using organic foods to juice or organic.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so, you know, just there, here's what, again, something else I want to bust as far as a myth is that they don't have to get it perfect in the beginning, right? If they don't use organic, okay, I get it. But yeah, and as far as like, I get it all the time, like, Tony, what machine is the best one to get? Because I want to get the best one, the most expensive one. Listen, I'm still using a 13-year-old Krups, you know, and I've got $100 brand new one sitting here I haven't touched yet, you know. I know. The most important thing is to get started. I love that you said that. Yeah, because if you go through all of that, researching the best juicer and the perfect recipe, then you do so much work. And then when the excitement goes away, you're just, you know, exhausted. Yeah. So my goal is to make it as simple as possible so you get started. You do need a juicer, but you can invest like $30 to $70. You can get a starter juicer. Doesn't matter, you know, as long as it works, as long as it does your dark leafy vegetables. That's the important thing. And then you can find recipes online. You can check out my book. I mean, you can just get started. And it's an amazing journey, and you're going to have fun with it. So tell me, what's your favorite recipe? Do you have a favorite recipe?
I have so many. I have so many. So I have to tell you, the most recent ingredient that I've been juicing, which I resisted for a long time. Again, even I hold on to some of my old preconceived notions, which is a mistake because you shouldn't. You should always try something.
Sure.
Is sweet potato. Sweet potato. Not yams, but sweet potato.
You told me that.
I know. It's a sweet potato, and you mix it with some dark leafy vegetables like kale or spinach and some tomato and some garlic. And it's like you're making soup, but you're actually juicing all of them. And it's delicious, and it's creamy and frothy and filling and absolutely delicious. So that's one of my favorites, but I have so many more. And again, you can't go wrong. You know, I give you some guidelines on what goes well with other ingredients, some of the, best practices. But again, you have to go with your own taste buds.
Right.
And you're going to always come up with new recipes. I'm still coming up with new recipes like 5 years into it. So it's a lot of fun.
Right. So tell me was there a favorite part of your book that you really got into? Or I know it's kind of like asking, a mother what's the favorite part of your baby? It's like all of them. Hello, but But was there a part of the book that you really enjoyed, or you think was really stood out to be beneficial?
I wrote the juice fast chapter first.
Okay.
Before we even got, almost as soon as we finished the outline, my husband and I did the outline together. He was very helpful. And I went straight to the juice fast section. It was a section that he thought is too long. Maybe we shouldn't even include this. But I wanted to include everything I've learned in the last 2 to 3 years from different fasting. And especially because I do fasting with my juicing clinic. And there's so many things I've learned. And there's so many ways that you can do it wrong and then be turned off. So I wanted to really focus on that. So the juice fast section, which speaks directly to the detox and cleansing, that's my favorite part of the book. And I think that we covered it in so much detail that takes you from beginner to all the way to advanced. So that's my favorite.
So, okay, perfect. So you just brought up something else very important. So for the individual who's watching this who has a spouse, was your spouse on board with juicing right away?
Are you kidding me? No. I mean, he has been a tremendous help with helping with the book, with the video, with the marketing of the book. But Andy, my sweetheart, he now is into juicing. He's done a 3-day juice fast. Okay. He drinks green juices, but he's not fascinated by it or passionate about it yet. But he has come a long way. And this is going to happen. Actually, we have a lot of people in the clinic who come and then their husbands or their wives start getting into it. So don't give up. It takes time. You have to be gentle and you have to make it fun and delicious for them. And then they will come around. It just takes a little time.
Yeah, exactly. So for the person who's watching this and going, my husband or my wife, they kind of give me some crap about it or whatever.
That's okay.
It's perfectly fine because
get started. They'll come around. Let me tell you, we have some great stories on that, and don't give up on them. So this just takes one person to start this mini revolution at your household.
It really does, yeah. And of course, I live alone, so I don't have anybody to to really fight with about it. So it's all good.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I want to ask you just another question before we begin to wrap up here. But talk to me about the health, like specifically. Now, here's one of the things: is I'm hypoglycemic.
Okay. Good question.
Yeah, exactly. So for people, maybe again, I know you're not a doctor and you're not providing, doctor, kind of solutions or anything. But talk to me about the benefits of someone who, like myself, might be hypoglycemic or diabetic. What are there benefits to juicing? Are there, is there a way to go about doing this? And you cover it in the book.
So great question, Tony. If you're hypoglycemic, if you have high sugar index, or if you are just sensitive to sugar, what you need to be careful with is not to drink too much pure fruit juice, because fruit juices have the fructose, the natural sugar found in them, and it's pretty quickly absorbed by your body because you don't have the fiber in your juice anymore. So my recommendation is focus on greener juicers, which cut down the sugar. And I have a lot of recipes where you can still make a very delicious green juice, but you add dark leafy vegetables, you add more vegetables, you add maybe a little bit of fruit to just cut down the bitterness. But the green juices, you can drink that as much as you like, and the sugar is very low and the nutrients are high. So that's what I recommend. Now, if you are going to go on a fast and you have those sensitivities to sugar, I would check in with your doctor before you go on a fast. So just let them know. And then again, focus more on greener juices. There's no limit to how much of those you can drink as long as you limit the pure sugar that you put on those.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I found. I learned that by mistake actually one time.
Oh, no.
Apples, beets, and carrots, juiced the heck out of it, drank it, and next thing I knew, I woke up on the floor.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's a lot of sugar. Yeah, so
way too much sugar. Yeah, no, I learned that. But again,
Good question.
Great question. But you've got some amazing stuff here. I'm just gonna real quickly. I'm gonna list some of the topics here. But you've got why juice, irresistible benefits, and your own reasons, which I think was very important, by the way. Your own reasons, right? Got to have your own reasons of doing this.
Right.
Juicing explained, what juicing is and it's not. How to start juicing, the bare essentials. You go into again. We talk about just getting started. Shopping tips for juicing adventures. Let's talk ingredients. You go into the kitchen getting ready to juice, the recipes, the benefits, the aftermath. You've juiced now, what now?
What now?
I remember like on Facebook, I had asked you, I said, listen, I'm wasting some of this pulp. What's the best thing to do with it? Because I'm sitting here going like, my God, there's all the rest of this beautiful fruit and veggies and everything, and I'm wasting it. And you gave me some really great tips there, by the way, which is very good. Worked very
we have recipes for that. Yeah, there's so much you can do with it, and I didn't even know.
In the book. So listen, again, a phenomenal book. I mean, this is a thick book. There's a lot of content here, but but the thing I loved about it, Farnoosh, is that it's you've got these beautiful, gorgeous pictures in here that talks about the recipes. But you not only have recipes, but you've just got it to a point where it's very simple. You didn't put a lot of extraneous content in here. There's not a lot of filler fluff. I mean, you really just, because you're an amazing writer.
Not a fan of fluff. Not a fan of fluff.
Not at all. And you're such an amazing writer anyway. And so
it's
easy to read. And there's just, again, so much great stuff in here. How can a person get their hands on this? Because they need to, by the way. And I'm telling you, you need to get your hands on this if you're watching this. But how can they get their hands on this?
So the best way is to get it. The Amazon has the cheapest price right now, and I want you to get it as affordable as possible. When Amazon first puts books up, I think they do their own discounting system. So it's I think $9 and something. The retail is $16.95, and you can get it shipped to your house right away. So if you have an Amazon.com, go check it out there. But it's everywhere on BarnesandNoble.com, in Barnes and Noble stores. Costco's is carrying it, and I don't know if they have a discount for it, but if you have a Costco's membership and you're already there, or you can just check it out, see if you like the look and feel of the book. And indie stores are carrying it. I mean, if you check it online, there's a lot of different stores that carry it, but Amazon.com is probably your best bet. You can get it fast to your house, and I hope that you start this fascinating journey and come tell me and Tony what you think about juicing.
Absolutely. And I'll put a link here below for at least the Amazon or something along that line. And just preface, yes, I did get a free copy. Thank you for review, which you did, but I will gladly buy another one because and just give it away because seriously, it's that good.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. You're so kind. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So again, thank you for this short interview. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you. And if you like this interview and you want to know a little bit more about how this book came to be in a marketing fashion and some of the insights that she's learned, I'm going to provide another link for that on my blog because I'm all about the marketing and getting your message out. And this young woman is getting her message out, and so should you. So, Farnoosh, thank you so much again, and we will see you soon.
You're awesome, Tony. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.